When was the last time you carved a thought from the raw stone of your own mind? Not a recycled fragment from a trending reel, not an inherited echo from childhood, not a teacher's pre-packaged lesson, but a thought forged in solitude, born in the friction of silence and depth. Most people never do. They drift through life parroting ideas like souvenirs, believing they are thinking, when in fact they are only remembering. What they call free will is often just subconscious obedience dressed in convenience. You are told you're free because you can choose between 20 brands of shoes, between scrolling up or down, between shouting or staying silent. But freedom is not having choices. It's knowing who you are when no one is choosing for you. And that terrifying question, why do I want what I want? Most never ask it. Because to ask it is to risk seeing the strings. And once you see the strings, you can't unsee the puppet. The chains today are not iron. They are invisible. They're dressed as entertainment, as comfort, as normal. They come in the form of curated feeds and mindless trends, packaged for pleasure, designed for distraction. You don't live in a cage. You live in a maze you didn't build, one that rewards you not for awakening, but for staying asleep. You weren't born to repeat. You were born to awaken. But awakening costs comfort. It demands that you confront the horrifying possibility that much of your personality was sculpted by someone else's agenda. And unless you reclaim your mind, someone else will always live there, rent-free. Most of modern life is programming, branding, conditioning. You're not choosing. You're selecting from pre-approved options designed to feel like choice. The screen is not just a tool, it's the new regime. The ads don't sell products, they sell identity. And the moment you define yourself by them, you've sold your mind to the highest bidder. Look around. People laugh on cue, love on cue, get outraged on cue. Their minds are not their own. They're shared cloud storage, echoing the loudest opinions in the room. They live for applause, not truth. They fear solitude more than they fear obedience. And so they never ask the real questions. Who am I when the noise stops? What remains when I remove the mask? This isn't dystopia. It's convenience culture, a prison disguised as paradise, a digital dream that rewards conformity and punishes depth. You can have 1,000 followers and not a single original thought. You can be successful by every metric society praises and still be lost. But you don't have to stay lost. The battlefield is not outside, it's your attention, your awareness, your ability to sit in silence and excavate what's truly yours. Sit with your thoughts. Let them speak before another scroll buries them. Write them down. Examine them like ancient artifacts. Ask, where did this belief come from? Does it serve me or does it silence me?
Understand, fear is the lever they pulled. Fear of being different, fear of being wrong, fear of being alone. But fear is not your enemy, it's your compass. Follow it, and it will lead you straight to your edges, the place where growth begins, where you stop reacting and start choosing. History remembers the ones who chose self-respect over social comfort. The ones who faced exile for refusing to betray their minds. Socrates, who drank poison rather than lie. Rosa Parks, who sat down rather than give in. Mandela, who endured decades of isolation but never handed over the keys to his spirit. These were not perfect people. They were free thinkers. And free thinking is the rarest form of rebellion left. So how do you reclaim your mind? First, silence. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of reflection. No screens, no background noise, just your own thoughts, raw and unfiltered. Then, writing. Not what sounds clever, what feels true. Ask, what belief did I carry today that wasn't mine? That single question can change everything. Next, redefine failure. It is not shameful, it is sacred. It is not the end, it is the forge. Rejection is not a verdict, it is redirection. When you stop fearing failure, you start living without a leash. You stop outsourcing your worth to likes, titles, or acceptance. And finally, feed your mind like your future depends on it, because it does. Read not for speed, but for strength. Read ideas that make you uncomfortable. Spend time with thinkers who challenge your worldview. Seek truth like your soul is starving. Because in a world full of noise, wisdom is a rare and sacred rebellion. You don't need to be fearless. You need to fear less and act anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. When you train your mind with discipline, when you choose principle over programming, when you learn to sit with silence instead of running from it, that is when you return to yourself. Not the version of you the world shaped, but the one that was always buried beneath. And when that version rises, rooted, awake, unshakable, you'll no longer ask the world for permission to think. You'll simply do it.